as we get going. The operator phase, or ban phase, will be first. And Soniqs get the choice of the first attacking operator. Now we might see some of the heart breach removed again. No, it's the Thatcher for now. And that means that it is going to be just a little bit harder to open the hatches, but not impossible.
Yeah, it becomes trickier, but it's one of those, I guess we have such a great pool of bank data to pull from. It's not one of the biggest impact plays in terms of controlling all of the places. You said hatches, sure, you still have teams that go for the default takes, but most teams are going for these bigger plays. Talking of, NiP removing the Nook, getting that off the board. Not really a huge play from the pockets of Soniqs too recently.
No, I mean, they have played it, just not really to much effect so far in D major. And as the next ban is about to be coming in, it's a defensive one. It's going to be Valkyrie. I understand that choice. Just removing those cams, remove the opportunity to go for these flanks, for these roams on those floors above or below. It's going to be making it a little bit easier for the attack to try and clear out. And, you know, if you ban a Thatcher, the Cade often follows.
It's tradition.
It's tradition.
It's traditional, and it is standard. What I will say is, from some of the bans that we've had throughout the day so far, we have seen
pre-fired, but unfortunately, no one there anymore. One of the X-Scars actually got taken care of there, as Grixer is the first one to fall. It's Psycho already inside of the elevator here, taking some control of that top floor portion of the map, but still a bit
hanging around the top of square. Yeti is going to be a bit of a blatant play there, but the grenade rolled down perfectly. Couldn't quite get the connection. Muzi's safe to get another one as they tried to sliver their way back into the archives. They couldn't quite get the connection there, and suddenly everything's starting to fall away from the Soniqs. They're going to see if they can put a bit of a blow with the C4 underneath, but it's dangerous territory because of the pressure NiP is putting flat across the ground. Though it was an opening on the wall, they're still going to send some drones in and see if they can get a bit of a collapse round onto those stacks inside the core of this floor. But a minute 10 and NiP have been able to really punish those swings in aggression.
This normally does not count under the time issue we have seen so far. Kansan, with a rotation all the way to the bottom floor, will be rotating back up to the main stairs. Pino will take some damage from Super, but as you said, loads of time left for NiP here, 50 seconds, and all they need to do is close out of a taste of where one of the members is. It's Super that takes the first shot there, but Kansan with the first kill, and he's rotating all the way up, and that is going to be a good opportunity to go for a potential flank.
Super gets one more and starts to put some pressure back into the side of NiP, who are trying to do that slow creep round onto the big kitchen doors. There's a pop round, there's Super, shuts the door, can't quite get one more. It's technically a 2 versus 1, but with only 10 seconds left, they're going to see if they can try and stick the diffuser. Repositioning and gives the game away on the location. They'll know exactly where he is. They're going to try and stick it. The C4 doesn't get the catch, but he's up. Now he's going to see if he can stick it down. Julio has the cover. Going to see if he can put the pressure on the swing. Moves off at the last second. Can't quite get the connection. It's a lockdown anyway. And NiP just pull it back, but almost.
So the map will be secured. Pino has no clue how close he is. Actually, he does. Spots out Super, takes off his head. It's going to be the entry frag here for NiP. Can they build on top of this one?
Winston, as we see the fight that starts to potentially spill out onto that open hopping window that was ignored before. It's sprays, I'm not quite sure where from, and neither's Rexon.
Well, that is all the way from the archives there. The player that has quite a bit of a long angle, Psycho. Is still looking to try and punish one of these Soniqs players. NiP, they have a 2-minute advantage here and a 45 seconds left on the clock as Rexon will finally be able to find one. Pino, however, responds back by Grixer. He just pops up on the top of the blue stairs. He's trying to rotate all the way back out. Of course, has some yokais to play with here, but he's going to be going to fight there. Gets challenged, goes back into the yokai, needs to get them in position if he wants to stop these plants from happening, but realizes that's not going to be happening, so he needs to rotate all the way back up. The question is, will he be able to get this clutch to work?
Well, the alarm bells and the signal on a drone gives an impression of where he is, and that's a very strong, sturdy wall to try and break their way through. Pops a pre-fire and catches Psycho for the trouble, but there's still 2 more players, and these 2 aren't going to hand themselves over so easily. They're on the back far side, and as flashes start to roll around to just waste a little bit more time, they know where he is. They know the game that they need to play here. 19 seconds that ticks closer and closer, but not much closer as Julio.
National stage, because then everything does not rely on that singular health. That's a jump out. Yeti that gets Julio. Instantly gets traded out by Pino, however. So a 4-on-4. However, you have lost your Heartbreach. You have lost the Excaliburs that you can no longer use.
Yet he took a gamble, took a sort of potential, and to be fair, now's the moment, now's the time. 2 rounds have gone away from you, start to try new things, live a bit dangerously. It's his first kill on the board, and it was one of the things where we sort of came into this with the conversations with the NA casters, is a big problem that Soniqs face is Yeti and Rexon not quite having the consistency. On the game days they show up, it's huge. On this sort of setup, it's tricky.
Pino just has a free jump in there as Psycho gets Rexon. He was playing the mirror window, and I was about to say, look at those castle barricades. Pino has the opportunity to just jump in. It's just that Kansan is there right now that has the opportunity to try and one-punch that window and try and take a gunfight as a result, because otherwise, well, Pino just has some free, well, more so with the Nitro rather than the actual gun power available to them. And Muzi, while spraying in from above, is getting quite close, but just needs to hold on.
Pino gets the opener and Julio follows it up with one more, and that suddenly cuts a lot of the hold in because it's not just what they've got above but the pressure that might be coming down from below. Rexon is trying his best to put some suppressing fire back down and does a lot of damage to Julio, but look, NiP is stacking up more success, more bodies and more possibility of danger. It's a man in a corner with a lot of LATAM around, finds one, drops down and tries to dig in just for one more, but they're on every single side. They are in the walls, and there is nowhere to go, and Super suddenly finds himself with a lot of silence.
There's a couple of 100 rounds used there to try and take care of Rexon, but he got him in the end, and now they will be well aware of the fact that he's right behind the mirror window. That was actually not a Yana replicator. That was the real deal. Just shot a couple of bullets in it. Did not expect it to be the real one. Be getting outside of the stock as well in a position, an opportunity to rotate back down towards safety. There's actually Yeti that will be picking up Muzi. Jump out or run out from Yeti, an aggressive peek will be the death of him.
To be fair, it's the first time we've seen Soniqs take the opener and not have it instantly traded out. It's the first time we've seen them able to, whenever he's been able to get himself into these close, little, short fire positions, and as Super is the next name off the board, it's now the creep of Yeti round on the backside to see if he can bite back. Rexon makes him work down on the staircase, and Pino retreats to the top floor, but a minute swing, it gives them a pinch and gives them some pressure that they can apply to where that bandit was. However, he has since drifted off, and Kamikaze is actually the one to lock it off. Creeps towards the kitchen door, ready to swing around forevermore, but there's still work to be done. A close Nitro doesn't quite net what they want, and as the pings start to come through NiP, it's now or never.
It's now or never indeed. 15 seconds left on the clock. It's Rexon to pick up one more. It's Grixer in a very good position as well. Only up to Kamikaze, but he's in the middle of the site right now. Gets spotted out by some of these Prismas here. Needs to decide what to do soon. Gets that first kill, but doesn't get the second. Grixer swings in.
A little bit too far away from those windows to drop it. Rexon, he slips away, but not very far as he's picked up by the drop of Muzi. There was the overreach and overarch of Soniqs, and it couldn't come up across the site from this side. Kamikaze is in a position where he wants to try and swing behind the bulletproof chassis, but where Super is with the chance of a swing, it's dangerous. Pino's able to just pick up Yeti by swinging along the windows, and that backline's gone, but Kansan finds one before dropped, and now it is just the single player of Grixer. The Echo has been able to retake the potential of the mantle, but he was the last standing last time, and well, it was a similar sort of result there. Locked off by NiP to find themselves a
clear and find these 5 players with. They don't know if there's any flank still going on currently. They just need to trust on their gun skill. They just need to trust in their attacks into the process. And as Grixer is the first one to be finding themselves quite close to the site, he's the first one to potentially find gunfights here as well.
15 seconds, and he's moving as silently as the G in Lasagna, but he gets cut down and eaten all up. 5 seconds left, and it's a 4 versus 2. Super and Rexon, well, just Super tries to stick it in the smoke, but there is no way that's landing, and now there is one way. Now on the top of the square, they have an angle and an idea of what they want to do here. They're weighing it up, and the first falls. This is already a much better success story than it was last time, because previously, as I said, they were biting, but not catching anything. This time, they've got that first take, and that's going to force NiP to have to play a little bit more of an idea towards the pressure of Soniqs.
Yeah, Pino was just hunting. He spotted a drone. You saw it earlier on. He pulled out the pest crossbow. Wanted to really get that one, but failed to do so. And as a result, when hunting inside the lobby. Meantime, Soniqs, they're hunting on the other side of the map. They want to open up. They want to go for a plant with his Kanzen. Picks up Psycho. It's Kamikaze with a C4. That takes care of Super. At least the wall has been opened up. They do not have to worry about that anymore. There is the opportunity to go for the plant, but Julio in a very good position to stop anybody from repelling in really from these windows. And this Kamikaze is going quite aggressive right here. Has the opportunity to pick up the kill. Somehow does it. Drops the diffuser out once more before he gets traded out. It's only up to Julio now. He's in a 1-on-3 situation. Gets the first one. It's a beautiful shot to go through. The diffuser is still dropped. 50 seconds. They need to be re-entering the building here. And Julio, well, he needs to know. He needs to have this information as well.
46 seconds and the swing comes round on the first, but it's a great shot from Grixa, from deep, and from...
And as NiP is setting up their defensive, once more. Aggressive shields. We will see the alibi Prismas to come through. Of course, the vigil on Psycho as well. Talking about Psycho, he just went for a jump out, went for the kill, decided to go for the second one because he's seen that before, back when one of the earlier Bane games, someone is around that position, so let me just try and swing for it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to win that. A scan out, I'm not quite sure on who it was. It's going to be at the bottom of blue, and that will be Pino that picks him up from the stock room. He just rotated up. I said he could be picking up these kills, and yes, he did, at least with one. Grixa, however, he makes the response happen, and a minute is left in a 3-on-3 situation with Pino still on low HP.
But it looks like they want to come back up the stairs. Now he's bought a friend, and that's dangerous, because it gives them the chance at a swing. Julio goes down, though, and the friend isn't quite there to put a little bit of revenge in. 45 seconds and a bold play might cost them here now, as Pino is still exceptionally injured. This pairing, though, of Musi and Pino has been a big tour de force for the team before, and they're going to see if they can once again send a body to the top, and this time it's Musi that heads up and finds a body. 28 seconds, and they're going to see if they can slip their way through onto the site, but with the control that Musi has from deep, it doesn't need it. Pino gets one more. It's a 2 versus 1. Super goes next, and NiP find their second of the day. This one a lot more comfortable than their earlier fight, but unfortunately for Soniqs,